Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the farm. We are on about our 8th or 9th day of under freezing temperatures. We're going to talk about breeding pens, breakout artists, and what we've done to keep everything working during these freezing temps. Well, at least the sun is poking out a little bit this morning. We're supposed to be almost above freezing, but not quite today. So we're checking out our first breeding pen, and we have not noticed any action, but this is the pen where we brought in the new boar, Tonka. And I think, Jamie and I were talking, we think that these two girls were in heat right before he got here. So it should be any day. Hey, what are you doing? It should be any day before that they'll come back into heat, and should be able to see some things get done. So anyway, we got two Luis here. I can't remember your name, but you sure are friendly this morning. So any day now, hopefully we will see some action in this pen. Since we're right here, we're gonna go check out the chickens. I have not been leaving their doors open just because of how cold it's been. I've been putting feed and water inside, and they've been doing good. None of them have frostbite or any of that. I left the door open this morning. You can see where we've been knocking out the water. Some of them have ventured out. A lot of them are just staying in because nobody really wants to be out in this weather, and I can't really blame them. Haven't really moved the chickshaws. They're kind of frozen to the ground, so a lot of manure underneath them, but at least the chickens are not standing in it. So that's one reason we're glad we got them out of the chicken tractors, where they were just standing in their manure if they didn't get moved. So same thing over here with the Bielefelders. Hopefully this week we will lose some of this snow, and these chickens can get back outside. Well, there's a couple of them venturing out, and they don't like to be in the snow, so some of them are hiding underneath on their one empty spot. So quick update on the chickens. We've got the sows that weaned. They are all doing good. They all dried up good. You can see the pigs are making trails where they want to walk. They don't come out much except to eat. But we've got our first breakout artist on the other side of this pen. So once this stuff, there's no point in moving them now. You guys can see it's just snow everywhere. But once this starts to melt and these get all wet and nasty again, we are going to move the sows over under those trees over there. That seems like a good spot when it's really wet, that they can get to some dry ground, and we'll just get them off their manure. Basically, once all this stuff melts, we got to move everybody anyway. Woo! We've got some ice here. Here's our first breakout artist, Mr. Tuck. He seems to think we're not getting to him fast enough to feed. So while we're over here feeding these mamas, you can see his hoof prints. He just walks over the fence. He never has gone in with them, but he just thinks that we're not getting to him quick enough. So Tuck is our first breakout artist. It's not hard to get him back in. He just wants feed, but it is quite annoying. And one of the reasons he's breaking out is we haven't had sun in a while. And so these fences, if charged at all, are not charged very high. So most of the snow is melted off the chargers, and hopefully we'll be getting some sun. I do have some extra batteries. I'm gonna go around this afternoon and just check and see anybody's fences that are not working. The snow really doesn't affect them too much, but any of the fences not working, we'll get new batteries on, hopefully be able to keep them in. We had 3 pigs out this morning. I'll show you the other 2 in a minute. Here's the well house. Speaking of freezing temperatures, all of our spigots have worked except for one day. I ended up running an extension cord. You can see it here. We don't have an outlet inside the well house. Ran an extension cord to the farrowing barn, and we put a heat lamp in here. It's high enough, it's hanging. I can't lift this up right now, but one day the pipes froze up. I had to go in the house into the laundry room and get buckets of water, which was very annoying. But I ended up putting 2 heat lamps in there, and we have not had an issue since. And we've been down in the negatives with the wind chill. It's been quite cold. So this is the best part, guys. When it's this nasty, we've got the frost-free spigots, we've got the heat lamp in there, and we've got water. And this afternoon we'll have a skating rink. So anyway, they are doing well. Let's head over to the next breeding pen. They've eaten breakfast. They are already inside. And it is Ryder, our big orange boar. And, well, they call him Ginger. So whatever you want to call it, orange or ginger. Ryder and Smitten. And we have seen them breed. And, hoping they took. Remember our last batch Millie didn't take, so we've had some that's the first time we haven't had a pig take, so we were a little worried about that. How you guys doing? There's Smitten, there's Ryder, getting out of the weather. Ugh, enjoying a little bit of warmth. And so we're hoping all this work. All these breeding pens in the winter is a pain in the butt. A lot more stops, a lot more waters to break out, break the ice and get fresh water. But we're hoping all these girls are gonna take, and we will have a bunch. How you doing? That big old snooter. That big old snooter. Have a bunch of nice litters this spring. So we're gonna walk back to the pond, check out our next breeding pair, let you know if we've seen any action. All right, the one big benefit of this snow, our land is usually pretty bumpy, so we are rocking around and banging all over with the golf cart, but I have had quite a smooth ride on the chores. Now, once all this melts, we're probably gonna be getting stuck in a lot of places, but I guess that's the one benefit of this nasty cold snow. We've had smooth rides on the golf cart. But back here with Mabel and Shiloh. Hey, bud. How you doing? You inside too? You guys ready for a little nap after breakfast? Here's Mabel. Now, we did see some evidence of breeding on Mabel, and so we've wrote down the date. We'll check 21 days from now to see if we notice her come back into heat, but we are hoping that Shiloh has got the job done. So we hadn't seen anything for a long time. Was just wondering if maybe she wasn't going to come into heat, but finally we've noticed some evidence. And if you guys remember, these are the biggest. He's basically the biggest boar that we have, and she is definitely the biggest sow that we have. So we're hoping for some pretty large piglets from this litter. So we're crossing our fingers that they have taken and they'll get the job done. So same thing, all these pigs, this ground is frozen now, so it's not bad. You guys know that we were getting ready to move them. We didn't want to move them because the storm was coming in, so we figured to just ruin the next spot. So all this should melt within a week. We're getting a lot of rain coming into the forecast, and we'll be moving a lot of animals. So Mabel, you got any piglets in there? Huh? We sure hope so. All right, let's move on to our next breeding pen. And we've had 2 more breakout artists. We're gonna show you who those are. I forgot to mention when we were up here talking about our breakout artist that Millie has definitely been bred. We have not noticed dandelion. I believe that's dandelion. Brooklyn will correct me if I'm wrong. But we are hoping Tuck got the job done. Obviously, you don't always see them all the time when the breedings happen. But we think this pen is covered, and we should have 2 litters from this. What do you think, Millie? We saw you get bred, so we're hoping you took this time. Millie's the one that did not take last time, so we are hoping that she did take this time. Dandelion we haven't noticed, but we are hoping that Tuck has got the job done. Let's keep moving. All right, making our way across to our 5th breeding pen. Henry. Looks like Henry's getting excited with the younger gilts over there. But this is Delilah and Henry. We have seen Henry do the job, so we are expecting a nice little litter from Delilah. She is probably our smallest gilt, but she's built very nice. Looks real good. We really like. Hey, I'm talking about you. We really like Delilah, and so excited for this litter. She's banded. Henry's thrown some banded piglets. He's also tri. So hoping for a nice little litter here. Delilah is too busy. I think she thinks she lost a one flake of food. Did you find it? Did you find it? So we have witnessed this breeding and hoping that the job is done. Henry, are those young girls bothering you? Are those young girls bothering you? One day they'll be old enough, okay? All right, we've got one more breeding pen, 2 more breakout artists. Let's go check them out. He might already be broke out. You know who one of them is. All right, coming up on our last breeding pen for this spring. And I think they're all in. Go figure. Here's Barb. We have seen evidence of Barb being bred. She's our all black gilt, and we're pretty sure Gordo got the job done. So there's one more litter we can expect. And here is Mr. Phil. If he wasn't so darn cute, Phil would be super annoying. Well, you are annoying, Phil. Phil has learned to get that snooter up under that bottom wire fence that is not electrified. And the best part about Kunekunes is he's not going anywhere. He just thinks the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. You can see up there in the yard, that is Phil. And sometimes he breaks the fence down, so the other 2 pigs have been out here. They've just been rooting around, turning leaves, looking for nuts, not really going anywhere. They all want to come back in when it's time to eat. Sometimes he doesn't know how to get back in. But Phil is our initial breakout artist. And once this snow leaves us, I'm going to get him a different fence that doesn't have a bottom wire that is not electrified. And he will learn to stay in. So, but anyway, Barb, I kind of like that name. Barb, we are hoping, we have seen the deed be done, hoping that she will have a spring litter. So anyway, that's the last of the litters. And this morning was our last surprise breakout artist. And I think it's because they thought I was taking too long to feed breakfast. But it was one here in the meat herd. This little white and black one over here. This fence was almost laid down and she just decided to walk right out and see if she could find any breakfast. So I doubt that will happen very often with this one. But it was just one of those mornings. I had 3 pigs out and a new one joined the breakout gang. So it's kind of funny. Wasn't a big deal getting them back in. They want to be back in where the food is. Here's Chatty Cathy. Maybe we'll name you that, Chatty Cathy. You're always so loud when we're doing videos. But anyway, 3 breakout artists. We think all these pigs have been bred for the spring. If not, not a big deal. But it hopefully happens because it is a lot of work setting up all these extra pens in this awful weather. And I know some of you got it worse than we do, but we moved somewhere where it was supposed to be mild and I didn't want these temperatures. So breakout artist, breeding pens, and everything has worked quite well. With the well house, the 2 heat lamps in there, we've checked that daily just to make sure it's not getting too hot and no fires. So eventually spring will be here. I'm thinking by the end of the week this snow will be gone, which will be awesome, except we'll have Mudzilla back, but that's a different problem we get to deal with. It's better than freezing temperatures. So anyway, guys, hope you're having a fantastic day. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook, and don't forget to make the change.